It's almost Christmas, so you know what that means. YouTubers making end-of-the-year list videos to make a few extra bucks while the YouTube revenue is still good. While others decide to go the route of talking about the top movies or television shows of the year, I decide to go the way of talking about internet phenomenons. I really do believe that in 2016 we saw the most internet trends ever, and that makes my job a lot easier. Just to be clear, no cringy teenager memes will be included in this list, like dabbing or flipping water bottles. If you like that stuff, fine, just keep it out of my house. Also, my picks are in no particular order, so don't get mad about any of the placements. So with all that being said, let's get started. To begin, I want to talk about the vast amount of Arthur posts I've seen in 2016. While Arthur has always been big online, since it is a pretty popular children's show, it was brought to a whole new level in 2016 thanks to this picture. I'm sure a lot of you watching at home have taken this picture of Arthur's fist and have added a caption about something that has made you irate. As explained in my Internet Hall of Fame on the subject, this screenshot comes from an episode of Arthur where he punches his sister.
The window shouldn't be able to break it. I told you not to touch it! You built it all wrong! Did you even read the directions? It didn't fly for 1 second! It's not my fault if you made a plane that can't fly! I told you not to touch it!
After making my video on the subject, I had a lot of people telling me that that's actually one of the most hated episodes within the Arthur community, so I guess I learned something new every day. Another children's television show that has always been pretty popular on the internet but really blew up in 2016 is Lazytown. As the Wikipedia page for it reads, when 8-year-old Stephanie moves to Lazytown to live with her uncle, she encourages her new friends to go outside and play instead of sitting inside and playing video games. So essentially, it's a children's show encouraging kids to go outside and play while they're sitting indoors watching Lazytown. Anyway, the true highlight of the show is the evil villain Robbie Rotten, who the internet has grown really attached to. In November, this inside joke was really spread around with people sharing the music video We Are Number One.
Now listen closely. Here's a little lesson in trickery. This is going down in history. If you wanna be a villain number one, you have to chase a superhero on the run.
The song is admittedly pretty catchy, with a lot of people making their own fan edits of it. What many didn't realize though was that the actor who played Robbie on the show was battling cancer and was having a pretty rough time. Just as this song was blowing up, a GoFundMe page was created to help him pay his bills.
We both had the fortune of performing alongside Stefan Karl, who played Lazytown's villain, Robbie Rotten.
Stefan has recently been diagnosed with cancer, and we'd like to ask you to help.
He will be recuperating for up to a year following his surgery.
We're asking all Lazytown fans and Robbie Rotten fans to go visit our GoFundMe page.
You can make a donation and help him and his family during this difficult time.
Because of his newfound fame, they were able to raise over $100,000 to help him through these rough times, which is a great example of how the internet isn't always a bad place. I'm not going to spend too much time explaining this one since I assume every single person here already knows the story, but to sum it up, a little kid fell into the gorilla enclosure at a zoo, the gorilla grabbed onto the kid, and the zoo shot the gorilla. This would usually just be a story that would make it onto the nightly news once or twice before people forgot about it, but the internet did not let that happen. The online community started to ironically mourn the loss of this gorilla, and before you knew it, it was everywhere. As the joke was just about to die down, the Cincinnati Zoo had to go and make a statement saying that they didn't find the memes funny, with others chiming in that they were disrespectful and anybody making them should stop it immediately. This only led to people ramping up their Harambe meme production, because unlike real life, you can't shame people on the internet since most are anonymous. What would have ended on its own turned into a few more months of gorilla jokes simply because they tried to tell people on the internet what to do. Now for my fourth pick, we have The Nut Shack. For anyone who's a fan of animation, you probably had already been aware of this show since it's often listed as one of the worst animated programs of all time, which is no exaggeration. It's a Filipino cartoon sitcom that started in 2007 and it really is the worst. It's crude, disjointed, and simply unfunny. With the power of the internet though, this show was able to become a running joke in 2016, years after it was taken off the air. So why did this happen? Well, I assume it has something to do with that stupid and terrible yet extremely catchy theme song.
It's the Nut Shack. It's the Nut Shack. It's the Nut Shack.
we're at the #1 spot, which is Dat Boy. Probably the most random trend of the year. These posts revolve around people saying, "Here comes Dat Boy." Then a green frog on a unicycle appears. That's it. For about 2 weeks, this was the biggest thing on the internet, with it appearing everywhere. Well, it started off on Tumblr with someone posting "Here comes Dat Boy" with a picture of Pac-Man. Someone on a Facebook page went and swapped it out with the green frog we all know today. Just a year ago, people were mocking Facebook as the last place to get internet references, and now they're inventing them. Boy, do times change. Hey everybody, and thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. As for the question of the day, somebody wants to know, what is your opinion on "Let's Talk About Subscriptions" by YouTube? So what people are referring to is YouTube made a video discussing the sub glitch where people were being unsubscribed from channels. And as for me, this has never been the biggest issue. While I have always been very critical of YouTube, I never believed that they were unsubscribing people from channels. It didn't seem like they had anything to gain from doing that. I understand that they made things not show up in a subscription feed if you weren't watching the people's previous videos, but the idea that they're going to purposely unsubscribe you from a channel when they say they're not doing that seems absurd and much more of a conspiracy theory than even I'm willing to believe. So yeah, I really hope that they fix the bug that a lot of people seem to be having. I've never personally been unsubscribed from a channel as far as I know, but I do believe other people have, and I do hope that it's all resolved. I think maybe I should be more irate about this than I am, but I'm not. I have bigger things to worry about. So anyway guys, until next time, thank you for watching.
C'est la fête des syndicats.